Hi, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. I'm Max, your host, and this is your first meal of the day or your first meal after or during awakening. I'm very happy to have you here in this offering of light, to accepting this offering, and I'm very happy to accept your light and to share this moment with you. So, I wanted to do this video. I think it's very important. It's a very important thing that I want to share with you. I'm reading a lot of BS, a lot of bullshit in the moment, and I see also a lot of bullshit from you, from some of you, about these things that you are repeating, and you are losing yourself. You are losing your credibility and your understanding and your and yourself. You are completely going crazy in fear. So I wanted to do this video to give you some light, share with you some good light and some good things, some good vibration, whatever, because I think you need it, and I think that all these lies that you're reading, or this way of it's not good, and we need to show that things are also not really that way. So what I'm referring to is all this hysteria around climate change, and I'll explain to you why that is absolutely nonsense, and how it is used to create fear, and so that you live in fear. And how all those that are there being, oh, I am the hero against climate change, I'm fighting, those people are doing exactly the opposite. They are creating or making climate change more real with their actions. They think they are saving the world. No one needs saving, and the world doesn't need saving. So it's useless what they are doing, and they are obtaining exactly the opposite than what they wish to obtain. But I'm here to share good light with you. So this is the depiction that we have. It's a very sad, very terrible, very alarming depiction that is given of nowadays, of today's situation, where they are saying we're destroying the world. That's what they are saying. Okay? All right. That's the picture. That's what. And the message is that not just in climate change, but in everything. I've taken climate change just as an example, but with all the news, you go and read the news, and you have so bad things shared that they share there. And you have an idea that, oh, the situation in the world is terrible. That's the idea you have. Well, that's ridiculous. And that is absolutely not the reality. As my friends, the Pleiadians, say, there is more light, more positive in the world right here, right now, than what you imagine. What you are given, what you are told is manipulation. There is a lot of manipulation in your world right now, that you have an idea that you take out of there that everything is dark. The reality is that there is much more light and more positive than you can imagine. And that's what I want to share with you. I want to share this information. I think you need this information. I think you need to understand that our situation, our world is not imperial. Our situation is better than what you think. It's not a question of better, but we are not destroying Gaia. It's very pretentious by you, from your side, to pretend that you can destroy Gaia. Gaia is alive, Gaia is a being, as we are. Gaia is a creator, Gaia is a God, as we are. We are forever. We are limitless, and we will exist forever. Gaia is the same thing. So for you to pretend that you can kill Gaia, you are an idiot. Sorry, I didn't want to use that word, but that's what you are. You need to wake up you need to wake up, and you need really to put things into consideration and to realize that you cannot kill Gaia. Well, you cannot be killed either. So, I mean, I'm not saying that you are guys, whatever. I'm saying no one dies, Gaia cannot die. That's one point that is very important to understand, very important to put out there. But I know that it is repeated very, very often that we are destroying the world. Now, the fifth law of the universe says that change is the only constant in the universe except for the first four laws, which means that change is a constant. Everything changes from moment to moment. The only moment in which there is no change is the moment you are living here and now. Why? Because it's here and now, and here and now it's the only certain thing that you have. So here and now you exist, and that cannot be changed. It's sure. Except that in the next moment, in another moment, everything changes, because that's what the law says. Everything changes, the only constant in the universe. So, climate change, get over it. Really, get over it. The climate changes. And when I talk with people about these things, I listen or whatever, what they say is, yeah, of course, climate change, but it never changed so fast, and that's the problem. How do you know? How do you know that climate change faster than ever? You don't. You base your fear on what someone else told you, and you make it a reality. Do you realize that? Do you realize that you have absolutely no idea of what is happening because you are not able to know what is happening, and you are taking what some idiot is telling you and you are making it a reality? You believe bullshit that you are told, but idiots that don't know what they are talking about? Do you realize that? So it's time to realize it. And then, obviously, what you're saying is that, oh, well, you just have to go outside and you cannot deny climate change because, okay. So you are radical then. You don't accept other point of views. You say there is only this point of view and there are no other point of view. And if there is one thing that you should have learned by now, is that there is no absolute truth, that everything changes, so everything is not a fixed point in time, as Doctor Who says. Ooh, this is a fixed point in time, you cannot change it. Bullshit, everything can be changed. Everything changes all the time. Yes. But remember, you are a creator, so you create your reality. Your reality is created by what? Your beliefs. You believe the bullshit you have been told, climate change. So you are creating climate change, not humanity in itself, not humanity globally. You are creating climate change by believing it. That's all. Stop believing it. There is no climate change anymore. That's how crises are actually solved. You stop believing in them and they go away. You stop focusing on them, you look the other way and the problem goes away. Literally. You stop thinking about it. Really stop thinking about it and it goes away. It's not a question of denying climate change. I don't want to deny anything. It's your reality. So, but it doesn't have to be like that. And that's what I want to convey to you, is that you are creating your reality based on what you have been told. There was no climate change 25 years ago. There was no climate change. Suddenly they have started talking about climate change, and climate change has become real and you are still living in it. And now in 2040 or 2050 we should all be extincted from what they say. And they say, they started saying that in 20 something we should be 20 billion people living of blah 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 blah. Time doesn't exist. They cannot predict. Especially scientists, idiots like that, they cannot predict a thing. So, you see, let's forget all of this. I want just to stop there. And I just want to say this. I think it's what I have to say. This is the message that I want to convey. Your word, this word, in 2012, has finally got free from slavery. You were slaves up until that moment. And now you are not anymore. So that has opened for you and for your species a new way of being free, and to be able to decide for yourself your destination. So you are living in one of the most wonderful times in your history. So you have your destiny in your hands. And since 2012, your awareness, your consciousness has just improved and more people in your world are now awakening to themselves, to what they really are, rediscovering the creator that you all are, the gods that you all are. And with that, your light is shining brighter than ever. So the positive, the good things in your world, in your lives, in your existence is being bigger than ever. So your fears are still there, and your fears there, and the power that were. Those powers that were enslaving you are still in existence. They are still there. And they are still trying to keep you in slavery. So all those negative things, all those negative information, and the way to give them to you so that you fear your future, you fear your existence. And so by fearing, you are feeding those creatures, you're feeding the negative, you are feeding those that enslaved you. So it's time for you to realize that your existence, your life, your worth is absolutely living in a liberation, in a wonderful thing. It's absolutely the best of the times for being incarnated, and you are incarnated. Your fear is irrational. There is nothing to fear. There is no reason for you to fear. You can absolutely have faith in your reality, because your reality here and now, what you have here and now, it's absolutely fantastic. And you have the opportunity for you and for all that are co-creating with you to liberate yourself and to experience your freedom, to experience the whole of you, the awakening of you, to the whole of you. So look around you and see all the positive things that are happening, the positive things that you have, I'm checking, that you have for you and for everyone else. And really, really, be it, feel it, share the light, share the positive, share the wonderful being you are. Yes, you receive bad news. Yes, you have a lot of those. But remember, they are given to you. They send them to you in order to poison your faith, your light, so that you fear, and by your fear they become stronger and they can control you. But you are free. Use your freedom. Where is in your here and now, in your reality, where is that fear? Where is what you fear? You don't have it. It's not there. You're fearing something that is not there. So be strong, be you, be the wonderful being you are, be the light that you are. And share it and live it. And you will see that wonderful things are going to happen to you once you stop fearing for everything. What will happen, we don't know. We cannot say. And it doesn't matter. It's not a fact of saying this happens. No, the fact is to say, free yourself, liberate yourself, live in the moment, accept the light that you are, and that will liberate your creation. And from your creation, good things will come from you, for you. Look, you don't need to be awakened as I am to what you are, to understand, fully understand what you are. You don't need to know everything. But if you pay attention, you will see the kindness of people. You will see people sharing a bright light, a magnificent light, give really a magnificent thing out and sharing it with others, with the community. If you really pay attention and you remember one thing, and this is essential. Pay attention now. If you take the things that are served to you by the medias, by those big corporation, etc., you have an idea of tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Okay, that's the idea you have from those people. Because they are unable to convey a positive message that gives you light. They give you the opposite. Okay, but now, if you go in a one-to-one if you interact with people in a one-to-one situation, you accept to share. And that doesn't mean that you have to have the person in front of you. You just have to interact with them in any way that you choose to interact with them. It can be a video, it can be a phone call, it can be whatever else. Just do it. Interact in a one-to-one way. And if you open yourself to your light, if you share your light, if you take away all of your fears and you allow yourself to be in the moment, interact with them, co-create with them, you'll discover amazing things. Let's take the internet and let's take videos, YouTube videos or Facebook videos, or you can even go to Twitter and see some videos that are shared by people, and you will see stories of people being absolutely the amazing light they are. And doesn't mean that they are perfect. They identify themselves as humans, but they do amazing things. I see videos of humans taking care of each other. I see videos of humans helping animals. I've seen just before shooting this, 2 young humans, a woman and a man, on a beach seeing a tortoise. Tortoise stuck in the beach, unable to move, and they stayed there for a huge one. Staying there, and they stayed there, and they freed her in order for her to be able to go back in the sea. And I see humans taking care of some animals, so some cat, some dog that maybe are strange, they have disabilities or whatever, and they take care of each other, they take care of them, they decide to be with them, to love them. I've seen this guy, this Swiss guy, from Zurich, leaving everything, and now he's living in South Africa, in the idea of South Africa, and has a farm with animals, lions, dogs, hyenas, etc., wild animals. And they have become the best of friends. He has been accepted as a member of their community. And he can go and play with the lions as a member of their community, and they will never harm him. And there are many examples of people doing exactly that. They do what they feel they have to do. They are real to themselves. They have decided, I'm going to live this life in that way. And they don't need to be awakened. They don't need to know what they are. But they are being that. They are that. Then they are their light. And this is what is happening in this world. It's this. This is the reality. The reality that you don't see on your mainstream media. This is not talked about. But as I said, you can see these things if you pay attention on your Facebook feed, in YouTube videos. There is a lot of blah 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 bullshit about the 10 best actors, the 10 this, or your bullshit about reality TV, blah 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 blah. Okay, you have a lot of that, but look around. search for this kind of light, and you will find it. It will find you also, because it's always relevant. You will, suddenly when you open yourself, you will have a video popping up you were not looking for, and suddenly it pops up in your awareness, and that is just the most amazing video you will ever see. And there are so many videos that you are sharing that go viral of so amazing things that are happening, ways that some people go out of their ways in order to be able to give another person, another being, another human, an amazing experience. You can see all these people going to hospital, sharing a moment with kids in order to keep kids that have cancer or whatever, and they're there to try to help them, to try to make them forget the situation they are in. You can see, many of these things that are happening. It doesn't matter whatever. People in a one-to-one situation are really different from what you can see when you are remotely looking at them. It's really important to understand that, so that the situation that you are conveyed by this mainstream media is absolutely different from the situation that you have when you are interacting in a one-to-one situation. And remember, many people are just not realizing, they are not awakened, and they are far away from being awakened. And some people, especially in politics, but not just in politics, that are there just for the power. But there are also politicians that are there to share their light. They are awakened. Yes. I will not give names, but there are people like that. And there is there are two candidates democratic, for example, democratic field for the nomination, that are operating from love. At least two. Maybe it's all two, but it's better than nothing, much better. And that is a way of sharing their light. And although I used to think that all politicians were bullshit, and that we should put them all in jail for betraying humanity, and I realize now that that is not the case with everyone. There are people that are genuinely wanting to change things in a good way, that go in politics. That exists too. And you attract the reality that matches your light. So be more positive. And as they said, if you accept to share that light, to be that light, to change the way you see things, and accept that things are better than you are told, you will see that everything around you will change in that way. It's how it works. So stop fearing based on what they say. You even don't know what they are, because you don't interact with them. It's just someone writing an article in a website or whatever, saying, "Oh, we're gonna die!" And you believe it. I don't understand you. How can you believe someone else? Oh, scientists say so. Well, no, scientists are like you and me, creators. And they create their reality in the moment, as we all do. So their science is created by them in the moment. It's not a truth. It's not the absolute truth. It's what they believe in. They transform their beliefs in science. That's what you're doing. Okay? So, putting science out there as an absolute truth and a proof of what you fear. No, don't do that. This message these things is really positive, and I want you really to look inside of you. As I already said, look inside of your heart chakra, go there and accept the positive, accept the light, be the light. And you'll see things gonna change. As I said, it's going to change in a positive way. If we can say positive, it's not positive, it's just that your light will be brighter and brighter and brighter, and as you change the way you are, you change the way you share your light, you will attract the light that matches your vibration. The more you are positive about your way you see things, the more you will attract like-minded or lighting situation, beings, etc., etc. That's how it works. I was like you. How can you not believe in climate change? You just have to look outside. It's not snowing when it should snow. You blah, 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 blah. You know, those kind of things. Okay? I'm not saying I'm absolutely like you. But I've gone beyond that. And I have accepted to see that there is absolutely more to the reality than what we are led believe to. Okay? And when you take that path, when you accept to look to things in another way, that is not the mainstream way, you realize how far away reality is from that mainstream way of thinking that you have been given for 2,000 or more years. Huh? So, in fact, what you believe in is what your parents, or at school, what you have been told by your parents, by your teachers at school, etc., etc. And you just forget. They didn't know those things. They are just repeating what they learn from the same people, from their parents, from their teachers, and so on, so on, so on. Generation after generation, these things are repeated. Doesn't mean it's truth. It just means that everyone is repeating the same thing from one generation to the other generation. Repeating. But none of them have ever tried to understand what they are teaching, what they are saying. They absolutely have no idea. So they take for granted as a truth something that they have heard from someone else. And that's what everyone here is doing. You don't take your truth, you don't take your knowledge. You take their knowledge from the outside. That's what I'm saying. But you already have the knowledge. You always had it. As a child, you knew more than you know now, because as a child, you were unfiltered. Then your parents, then the school, then every adult in the room were schooling you, telling you, I know better than you. And you accepted. We all accepted it. So you were programmed. Because that's what it is. You were programmed to be able to live in this world. You were programmed to forget what you are. So now you have to remember what you are. You remember yourself. So that by letting that program go away, you find again your light. You remember your light. You shine your light because you are beautiful. Because you are amazing. You. And that's all there is. So be you, be your light. Don't accept what comes from the outside. Remember, everything outside of you is not true. The only truth that you have is inside of you. You are your truth, nothing else. So remember the truth, accept the truth, and look around you, and you will see this world, your reality, what we are living here now in this world is absolutely much, much brighter, much wonderful, much better than what they say, what the media says. We are not dying. Gaia is not dying. We are not destroying Gaia. We are not destroying Earth, Gaia. We are just not doing that. It has the appearance of it, but only because you are told that it is like that. Because you have absolutely no way to know it. You have absolutely no way to see the truth of that. Because it's not true. It's not existing. It's not real. Until you accept it. And it's in your acceptance of that that it becomes true. For you. So believe in your light, believe in the kindness of our species, of this world, believe in it. Don't be an idiot, that's not what I'm saying, but believe that tomorrow is always coming. We are not at the end, but we cannot end. We are just infinite. We are forever. Okay? So stop fearing and start being yourself. Start living your light. Okay? Okay. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this moment with us, and I say goodbye to see you the next time, and goodbye in the name and in the light, in the love and light of the one Creator. Goodbye.